Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Getting caught up on billions, Ben and Alonso. So we're going to talk about episodes 7, 8, and 9, Victory Lap, The Kingmaker, and Sick Transit Imperium. Although really we're just going to kind of do a mid-season catch-up because who can remember what happened. The Sandicott deal has blown up now, and Axe knows why.
So tell me this, why did Chuck Sr. blow up the Sandicott deal? Was it just to screw Axe, or was there a strategic advantage to his son? I couldn't remember if it was just motivated.
Well, immediately in the short term, it seemed his main goal was to fuck over Axe. Now, of course, we learned from this episode that Chuck Sr. and Blackjack Foley have investments in the town that now has the casino.
Right. So but perhaps more significantly is that the fucking over of Axe has set Axe on the rails, which Chuck knows is one of the times you make a mistake. And,
exactly, yeah. And he was already dealing with
I got obsessed last night with trying to remember, and I didn't have time nor the inclination, so it was just spinning in my head annoyingly. Like, why did he do it? What was Chuck's Senior's motivation? And so tell us in the I just can't recall.
I think basically I think they have an adversarial relationship. He just came off of trying to sue Chuck Jr., remember, with all that business. So I think it was just a
little payback for the lawsuit.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And so that leads to that great scene in the Yale Club, which is really kind of underlines so much of the tension of this show, which is like old money bastards versus new money bastards.
Right, yeah.
Like
just that shot of when Axe comes into the room, and they have that great, beautifully framed shot of those guys.
The gentlemen in their evening clothes.
Looks like it looks like a Vanity Fair cover.
Yeah, from the 1920s.
That's right. Yeah, and you're like, oh, that's awful. These guys. That's just these. And David Strathairn as this Blackjack Foley character, I think I love. Am I saying his last name right?
Strathairn, I think.
So he. I love this show so much, and now it's gotten better because it's given you these great insights into sort of how political power really works.
Yes.
Like, we're seeing it, and you gotta watch carefully because Chuck figures out he's with that former mobster up on the guy's dig site, and the guy's not afraid, and he's like, there's only one way he's not afraid, is that he has a rabbi. Right, and there's only one person who that could be, right? And so that guy knows, hey, go ahead and bring it. I know you can't because nobody messes with Blackjack Foley.
Exactly.
And the way, there's an almost sensual way. Blackjack Foley touches him a lot. He's got a finger on his chest, and there's a.
There's a very paternal. Yeah. He's a kingmaker. That's his whole deal.
And about that, he mentions, I saw pictures of you and whatever he says he was wearing, and Chuck says, I don't think that was me, and he goes, I don't think you would have shown me one of the bastards. So Chuck's like, I have bastard brothers and sisters? And he just sits there. It's a way for Blackjack to control the conversation and put the person he's talking to at ease. But that is powerful, and it's a reminder in this country. Like, maybe at the presidential level, it's opened up a little, although money still has made it, as we saw this year. But the Republicans had, 17 people running, and it was largely open. But when you're running for Congress, or you're running for anything other than president, right, or Senate, like, we think we have a choice, but the most critical choice is when the field is open to everyone, when we get a nominee from one of the two parties. So we think, oh yeah, great, I can choose between a Democrat and a Republican. Well, we should have a process where you get to pick between thousands of people to be in those final two, if it is indeed those final two, but we don't really. And it is not too far off that there are kingmakers like this in many states who simply decide, for the most part, things could go wrong if you get caught in a scandal, it could sabotage you, but basically Blackjack Foley decides who the Democratic nominee for governor is, and presumably Attorney General, which means future governor, and presumably the Secretary of State, and who knows how many Senate seats or congressional seats, and it's gross.
Yeah,
It's
because
gross.
it feeds into his power, which then in turn allows him to control more, elected officials, and yeah, this is a really interesting kind of macro education of like how this kind of crap works.
And their fascinating discussion about how they can. This is a bad because obviously from a PR point of view, it's Sandicat is a catastrophe for Axe, but Axe now also knows that hey man, you guys caused this. Right, right. Sandicat was on. You guys moved this. If I go down for Sandicat, you're going to go down on Sandicat.
But at the same time, but in saying so, that he would have to admit that the only reason that he bought the Sandicat debt was because he knew that the casino was going there.
No, I got it.
But I see what you're saying. Though,
but I mean, I took this like he has leverage now. Like these guys. Hey, I thought it was going to go. I believed that it was going to go in Sandicat. He'll just say, I took a shot, I believed it, and then now I've learned at the last second it got moved because these guys wanted to screw me. I just mean it's like as Blackjack says to Chuck, if you pursue this and we take depositions on this, it's going to come around to that guy, which is going to come around to me, and it's going to come around to your dad, and it's going to come around to you.
Right.
No matter where you start. It ends up in the same place.
Which is why he tells the guy at the end, we're going another way.
And I like Brian. Brian's like,
yeah.
Brian's like, politics? He goes, absolutely. Brian's like, okay. Got it. I get it. Kelly O'Coin as Dollar Bill got a great,
definitely
great emotional scene. First, the baseball stuff was also just terrific because he's also like, you just see the callousness of these guys. Yeah, I mean, also, even
the dozen others I had to cut off.
I had to toss off because they couldn't hit a curveball. I love it when English people pretend to be American sports fans. I know we got to go, but so Axe he can't throw, right? He throws like an Englishman, right?
Bold to googly,
right? And so he's like trying to pitch, and he's like, and then he says 3-2, the count is full. Hey man, full count, man. Nobody says the count is full. But God bless him, they're trying.
The home is run.
You did not grow up playing stickball, my friend.
I just real quick, have we ever seen a conversation between Laura and Chuck before?
No, that was nice.
That was new and
nice.
interesting, I like that they could have this sort of human being conversation in the midst of all the shit that's going down.
Right, even some things are too
weird.
Yeah, even maybe too. Even some of our, even for us.
Yes, but I love now that Laura knows that she was being played by Axe when he said, "Well, how about this? How about I don't meet with Wendy when that was not ever his choice?"
And I love that we avoided a Three's Company moment, and Chuck did not mislead he called his wife and said
the exact thing that was said.
And then I think he didn't mention the call from Wendy, but then we learned that he did when she goes to the party.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, oh, okay, thank God.
No, he did. He says her on the phone. He quotes her directly, and
Well, he didn't say it was her though. He just he didn't say he'd gotten a call.
Oh, okay.
But whatever. We didn't get the whole conversation. He clearly told her it's all good. I'm pleased. But also I was that's get Kelly O'Coin as Pastor Tim from The Americans, and that was a killer scene there with and obviously since we're learning about it in this car dealership klaxon, that's obviously not going to go smoothly.
No, this is a tough season for Axe. So okay, sorry that we're rushed today, and there's obviously tons more to cover, but we'll be back for the rest of the season. So thanks for your patience, and we'll catch you next time.